What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Therapy with Rikki podcast, where we talk about real conversations that you can feel. I am your host, Rikki McCoy, a licensed holistic therapist in Atlanta, Georgia, specializing in all things self-care, somatic healing, and the power of holistic wellness. I am super excited to be back, y'all, with the episode. Really back in my mood. I'm back in my grind. I'm back in my energy. And I can't wait to share with you and tell you all the things I've been up to. If you are new to the podcast, welcome. I'm Rikki McCoy. I have a holistic private practice specializing in all things holistic wellness here in Atlanta, Georgia. And not only myself, but I have a group practice. So we all specialize in all things holistic, really teaching people how to take care of their mind, their body, and their spirit. So we are a holistic approach when it comes to the person, okay? And I'm excited to be here. I've taken some time off, y'all. Life has been lifing, and I just needed a moment to breathe, to regroup, to renew myself, right? The same things that I tell y'all to do as you're taking care of yourself and your wellness, I have to do them as well. But I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be back. Y'all, please take a moment to share, subscribe, follow me, check out all of my tips, all of the videos, whether they're podcast videos or yoga videos or breathing exercises when it comes to how to take care of yourself, okay? Today, y'all, we are going to get into seasonal affective disorder, all right? Now, it is fall. If you are on the East Coast like I am here in Atlanta, it is fall. And during fall and winter months, some people experience what's called seasonal affective disorder, okay? Now, what is it exactly? It is a form of depression, okay? Usually beginning in the fall and winter months. You notice it when the daylight decreases, okay? So what it could look like is having a low mood, maybe being heavy or feeling really tired, increased sleep, right? It's hard to stay up, it's hard to do the things. You may notice carb cravings, being withdrawn or isolating yourself. You may also notice trouble focusing, feeling, and you just might feel like you're in a trance, like everything is just moving in slow motion, okay? So if you are someone that is experiencing these things, you may have a little bit of seasonal affective disorder, okay? Not to scare you, but we're here to share the facts. We're here to educate and to learn. Some people don't like to claim certain diagnoses. They don't like to claim depression or claim mental health concerns. But y'all, these things exist. And the first key to change is acknowledge, okay? Acknowledgement. Acknowledge, so that you can figure out what tools and tips work for you when it comes to your healing. I am a person that struggles with seasonal affective disorder. Every year, like clockwork, I know it's coming, and I do little things to protect myself, right? I do little things to keep myself going during this season. And the first thing I'm going to say, first and foremost, is just giving myself grace. So lots of grace and lots of self-compassion, because for whatever reason, when this time of year comes up, your girl is tired, drained. It's hard to get up. It's hard to go. It's hard to get motivated. And so I give myself a lot of grace and compassion during this season, but I still show up and do what I need to do, okay? So some things that you can do are light exposure therapy, okay? So you could do light exposure therapy in several different ways. You can get outside, make sure you're getting some morning light, getting that sun on your skin as much as possible. But you can also buy light exposure lamps, okay? Get on Amazon, check out some of the lamps that they have on there. They are really cute and fun ways. Just keep you with some light as you go through this depressive season, okay? You could do the light for 20 to 30 minutes a day. If you're outside, you're getting outside from anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes a day, getting as much sunlight as you can, okay? They also have something called a dawn simulator, right? So what it does is it actually works as a sunrise, right? So the same way we would wake up to a sunrise during the summer, there are actual lights that simulate a sunrise. Isn't that cool? Move your body as much as you may not feel like it. And that is the hardest thing for me. Moving my body, getting up and going to the gym is super, super hard during the winter months. And in fact, I don't, right? I give myself the space that I need. I make sure I move my body at home, whether that's walking, whether that's yoga, whether that's Pilates, dancing, whatever it might be. I'm making sure that I keep it light, but I'm doing something to move my body. Okay. Structure and connection. Really, really, really making sure you keep some structure during this season. Keeping your routine, using your time as appropriately as possible. Really making sure you're making time for yourself in your day, right? Keeping some structure as much as possible. Weekly dates, maybe that's with friends or spouses. Really making sure maybe we do like a walk and talk, a group class, right? Making sure you have some kind of accountability buddy. Last winter, I signed up for personal training, right? Because I knew it was hard to get up and go. So I was like, okay, if I pay for training, I'll definitely be able to get up and go. And y'all, it was still hard. But I went, but it was hard. All right. So whatever you got to do to hold yourself accountable, hold yourself accountable. Y'all, sometimes we are our biggest enemies. We are our biggest setbacks. There's a book by Brianna Weiss, and it's called The Mountain Is You. Because sometimes the mountain is us, y'all. All right. So check that book out. Do what you need to do to show up for yourself and be accountable. Watch your thought process during the winter months, okay? You may notice that you have more of a pessimistic, negative thought process during this time. So be on the lookout for all or nothing thinking, right? That black and white thinking. And just make sure that you are doing things to really, really just be mindful of how you're thinking, how you're speaking to yourself, your self-talk. Make sure you're writing in your journal positive affirmations. I can do hard things, right? I can do difficult things. I can get through the winter months. I am worthy of showing up for myself during this time, right? These are some great affirmations that you can say to yourself to keep yourself going, because the fact is you're not going to always feel like it. And we need to know how to push through that and show up anyway, okay? You can watch your nutrition, definitely get your lab work done during this time. Talk to your provider about vitamin D levels. Get your vitamin D levels checked. Get your lab work checked. You may notice that you need a supplement for vitamin D. This is also a good time to work with a provider or a mental health provider on antidepressants, right? We may need antidepressants to get through this season. So knowing when it is time to reach out for additional help, knowing when you are not functioning as your best self. It may be hard to get up and go to work. You're not doing things that you need to do around the house. We're procrastinating, we're isolating. It's causing problems in our relationships and friendships. These are going to be times where it may be necessary to reach out to a therapist, to a medical provider, to somebody that can help you, get you some supplements, get you some medication, get you some things that give you what you need to bounce back. Okay. Again, knowing that there is help, knowing that you can have a plan when it comes to seasonal affective disorder. And just know, right, that winter is not a personal failure. This is not a time when you're failing. It is biology's meeting environment, okay? We create, we make space for ourselves, right? But there is no shame. Release any shame. Give yourself lots of grace and compassion. I have noticed my seasonal depression now, probably going on like 5 or 6 years. So I am not new to this. So I've had the talks with myself as far as grace and patience and showing up and releasing guilt and all of those things. And I just communicate what I need to my partner, whether that is, hey, like I'm really tired, I don't have the energy to do certain things. I also do things that are soothing to me during this time. So lots of aromatherapy, lots of like cardigans and blankets and just soft, plushy things that make me feel good. Soup. Soup is like one of my big go-to foods, meals during this season, because it just makes me feel good and warm inside, and it's also light, right? So if I don't have an appetite, or if I notice that I'm having certain cravings, I try to make sure that I'm getting what I need in those soups, right? Keeping it hearty, keeping it warm. So those are going to be some seasonal affective disorder tips. Don't be afraid, y'all. If you notice these things within yourself, just know that you're not alone, right? That is the point of this conversation. That is the point of this topic. Know that you're not alone. Know that there's help. Know that your self-care in the fall and winter may look different than your self-care in the spring and summer, and that's okay, okay? Do what you need to do. Get creative. Show up for yourself. Definitely try to keep a morning and nighttime routine, even if it's something small. Always do something to show up for yourself in your life, okay? Before you show up and do all the things for everybody else, just make sure you're showing up for yourself, okay? That's it, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. And please stay tuned for more episodes on all things self-care, holistic wellness, and adulting, y'all. Peace and love.